Pipeline Company marks 50 years of operations, initially beginning with just transportation of petroleum products from Nairobi or Mombasa to Nairobi, now serving the entire region. And we're here to talk about that on Power Talk this week with none other than the Managing Director of Kenya Pipeline Company, Mr. Joe Sang. Thank you very much for joining us on Power Talk. Congratulations on a 50-year journey of Kenya Pipeline Company, Mr. Sang. So take us through some of the defining moments of the 50 years. I'm sure there are many, but perhaps you could highlight a few.
Thank you for having me, Yvonne. And first, I'd like to share who we are as Kenya Pipeline. We are 100% owned by the government of Kenya. We started operations 50 years ago. In 15th of September 1973, we celebrated our 50th anniversary about 2 months ago. We started with 2 employees, and now we have close to 1,500 employees across Kenya. Our core mandate is to transport, store, and deliver petroleum products across the region. We run 1,342 kilometers of pipeline, starting from Mombasa, following the artery of the railway, all the way through Makindu, Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret, and Kisumu. Recently, we have the Kisumu oil jetty. We're also using our natural resource to transport product to our region. We transport close to 8 billion liters of petroleum products across the region, 60% of which is consumed in Kenya, and about 40% in transit market of Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Eastern DRC, and South Sudan. As I said, we have a team, a great team of employees. About 52% of them are men, and about 48 are female. So in terms of gender, we are one of those great organizations. In fact, at the top management level, we actually have 51% male and 49% female.
So a diverse workforce from just 2 to what it is today, and you've greatly highlighted the business that you do. Maybe you could also talk to us about how you have diversified your business and ventured out over the last 50 years?
Yes, so for the last 50 years, we've mainly, about 99% of our revenue come from what we charge the oil marketers. Currently today, we have close to about 120 oil marketers whom we serve as our customers, supporting thousands of families. We have the transporters. So our top marketers today, we have the fibre, we have Total, we have Rubies, and about 10 out of the 120 control close about 80% of the total volume that are transported across the region. We've also diversified, and we have the fibre optic, which is laid along our pipeline network. And we also have customers such as Jamii Telecom, we have Safaricom, we have MTN in Uganda, we have Wananchi Telecom. We've also diversified in terms of, we have a school called the Morendat Institute of Oil and Gas, where we build capacity in matters oil and gas. For a long time, we didn't have welders. I remember when we were building our line from Mombasa all the way to Nairobi, the contractor had to get welders all the way from Nigeria. And today, we have welders who are Kenyans, and we are very proud of it. We also train Kenyans in matters fire and safety. We partnered with counties, and today we have MOUs with close about 5-6 counties.
Interesting. So from all of that into fiber optics and training as well, let's talk about your leadership style and what you think is crucial for effective leadership across the board, but particularly of an organization such as the one you run.
I'll say my leadership style is an open leadership, open approach in the sense that it's participatory. I operate, Yvonne, what we call open door policy, where employees, they don't book appointment to see me. They come, and when I have time, I see them. And we recognize, I try to make a difference in each and every employee. of close to 1,500 of each. And I get the best out of each and every one to unleash the potential within them and emphasize on them by doing the right thing. So I'll say, people say I'm a people leader, and true. I trust, I build people, build careers, and I'm very proud that I can share over the last, during my tenure, and now we have closed about 3 CEOs. Who've recently, there's a gentleman who was appointed to be a CEO of one of the biggest pension fund in the country. The CEO of Nairobi Hospital, they've all gone through my hands. So I try to make a difference in people. And employees today will tell you that Joe is a people leader.
And so take us through the vision and the strategy now for Kenya Pipeline. Obviously, it's been 50 years for the company. So what lies ahead when you look at the vision and strategy that you are laying out for the organization?
Our vision is to be Africa's premier oil and gas company. A vision that we crafted about 10 years ago. And we're looking into the future with a lot happening in terms of the climate change. We are looking to diversify, not only transporting the hydrocarbons. We are looking to move into LBG, which we call a transition energy. We are looking to move into LNG. I've talked about fibre optic. We are looking to export talent in terms of oil and gas experts. And in the next frontier, the next 50 years for Kenya Pipeline, 2075 and beyond, we'll have diversified this business across the region, not only as Africa's premier oil and gas company. Some of the innovative initiatives that you've adopted that you feel have helped the business along? Yeah, that's a good question. In terms of the innovation, I can share what I'm passionate about in terms of what our engineers have actually done. And this was done about 6 months ago in April, where we've been running in every pump station. We have 3 pumps. One is on standby, and for a long time we've been running one pump. So the engineers ran some desktop analysis, and they realized they can actually run 2 pumps at the same time. And with that, we've been able to increase the flow of product from Mombasa to Nairobi by close about 40%. We were flowing at about 950,000 liters per hour. And now we can be able to flow up to 1.3 million liters. We've also enhanced our capacity flow of product into Western Kenya. And again, we've been able to increase using the same team of engineers who work for this great company, Kenya Pipeline. We've been able to increase by 30%. And that has enabled now the region to get enough fuel supply. Gone are the days where you'll hear stockouts, because we've been able to increase our cover from close to about 2-3 days to now about 7 days, which is good for the country. Farmers are able to plow their farms on time. Doctors are able to go about their work. Fueling the nation is really what we do. We are powering the nation. Yeah. And speaking of powering, I mean, you're also looking into solar power, right? So alternative sources of energy? Part of our initiative, our head office today, we've been able to install solar, and we've seen a reduction in our electricity consumption by use of solar by about 40%. Yeah. We intend to roll it out in our pump stations, and this is part of the initiatives of going green. So we've talked about solar going to be a big one for us. Yes. So besides moving petroleum products across the country and in the region, what else does Kenya Pipeline do? You know, what makes you stand out? What other initiatives are you involved in? Great question, Yvonne. For Kenya Pipeline, I'll talk about the soft side of what we do. We actually, we have a foundation, Kenya Pipeline Foundation, and we educate, we call it Inuka Foundation. We educate 2 students from every county. That means 2 from 47 counties, 94 students every year. We started in 2017. And to date, we've actually educated 694 students. These are persons living with disabilities. So we work with the National Council of Disabilities body. There's a selection criteria, which is very, very strict. And we're able to see them through the secondary schools. We're very proud, because then when you look back, these are people who are very needy. These are members of our society whom we said they are neglected, and now we've come in handy, and we want to see them transition into colleges and supporting them through. That is one big one for us. The other one, we're also very big in sports. In fact, our ladies, KBC volleyball team, we were number 2 in Africa in May. And I was very proud because I was part of those who went to celebrate with them. So that means we were actually the Kenyan winners. Yeah. And these also ladies, we have been able to pick them straight from high school and nurturing that talent. And those are some of the initiatives. The final one is tree planting. Yeah. As the world is moving green, we've actually adopted, with the partnership of Kenya Forest, Jomvu Creek in Mombasa, where the source of our petroleum products come from. And this month of November, our target is to plant 200,000 trees. So far, as of today, we've planted close to 150,000. And we are targeting by end of this month to have done 200, and in total, it will bring us to 500,000 trees. The survival rate of mangrove is about 98, 99%. And we'll be going down the 1st of December to actually close out on the planting with Kenya Forest Service.
Yeah, and that's important for an organization such as yours, with the work that you do to ensure that you are mitigating the effects of that on the other side. And with the numbers you're giving, you're probably well on your way to even surpassing that target for the month of November. So look, leadership is about the holistic person. So we understand you have a love for sports. So tell us about all of these other things that make Joe Sang the human being and the leader, therefore, that he needs to run this organization that is Kenya Pipeline.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. I love sports, and it's something that's in me.
Let me guess, running?
Yes, I'm a runner. And the last one, Stanchard Marathon, I did 21 kilometers, half marathon, at 1 hour 35, which was a pace of...
Was that a personal best?
I'll say yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good, well done.
Of course, not the pace of Kipchoge, but it was a lovely pace.
Yeah.
For about 4 minutes 34 per kilometer.
That's impressive.
So I do run, and when I run, I get ideas, and that's how I implement best. It teaches patience, endurance. I also play golf, or when I get time. Nowadays, I only get time over the weekend, and I'm an avid golfer, very competitive. I'm single handicap for those who understand golf, and it enables me to test things about life, perseverance, discipline. It's a game of trust and honesty. And I'll say sports, and finally volleyball. As I said, I like to participate in this, especially volleyball, because of our team, being able to be there for them, practice with them, and just to show them that their leader is actually among the best players.
Tell me what this does for your leadership, and how being a holistic individual you think contributes to leadership style and philosophy.
Yes, this sports in all perspective teaches me about patience. That's a big one. Endurance, teamwork, because in all these sports, especially golf, we always put in a team. Volleyball, you work as a team, and it then enables me back in the office to be able to get the best from each and everyone. We might not all be runners. We might not all be volleyball players, soccer players, but we are something. There's something we bring on the table, and that's really what teaches me. To get out the best in each and every person.
Absolutely. 50 years now, you've managed to diversify the business, and go into others. What discussion will we be having, do you think, 50 years from today about Kenya Pipeline?
50 years.
And what do you think your legacy will be as a part of that?
Yeah, 50 years down the line, that's 2073. We'll be able to look back and say those people started the journey of diversification. They operated pipeline or pipelines for the first 50 years. 99% of their revenue came from there. We should be able to look back and say we are running a diversified business in the sense of spread across the region. where we have, pipeline in Rwanda, we have pipeline in DRC. We are lucky that Kenya, and especially Mombasa, is the gateway of East Africa. So this company would be positioned as the gateway for the region. And I'll tell you, today we are able to move close to about 22,500 trucks off the road. And we are looking at, if just quantify that in a year, there's so many benefits because our pipeline is underneath, it's not seen. So the next 50 years, we'll then be able to look at this business and it will be a fully diversified business.
Indeed. Thank you.
Employing many Kenyans.
Employing many Kenyans, yes, and changing lives. Thank you so much, Mr. Sang, for being with us on Power Talk this week.
Thank you.
We deeply appreciate your time and congratulations once again on 50 years.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And thank you.
Asante.
Asante sana.